Right, okay. Well, I'm pleased to say I'm joined by Director of Football Jordan Clark for another Academy update. Jordan, good to see you.
Good to see you, Dan.
We last caught up at the back end of 2022, just before we broke up for the Christmas break. Into March already, rather scarily, in 2023. How's the Academy been, though, overall, and the setup since the turn of the year?
Well, yeah, it feels like a long time ago that we caught up, Dan, and to be fair, it is. But then in another way, it only feels like yesterday that it was Christmas. So it's mental. But in that time, a lot's gone on. I know we're going to cover a lot of really exciting items today and give everyone listening an update. The reason we do these things is to allow fans, parents of our learners, both from the academy, youth section, to get an update from the horse's mouth, as it is, rather than hearsay and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been a fantastic turn of the year. We never stand still, which is to our detriment in terms of time, but also to our great success in terms of our community engagement. And I'm really looking forward to sharing with everyone some really exciting developments and achievements to date.
A lot going on at the Academy, a lot going around the football club in general. And obviously in the background we've still got the ongoing developments with purchasing the freehold for Meadowbank, and some developments very much happening this month, early this week. They had a council meeting, another one scheduled of course for later in the month. I know we spoke about this at the end of the year, but just to get your take and your thoughts on the ongoing developments with Meadowbank.
So as it stands, again, obviously we're all very keen on acquiring the freehold. For me, with my sort of director of football hat on, and what it means for us as a community project pathway, it's going to revolutionise what we do. And in terms of how we can get more local schools, our partners, Mole Valley, St John's, all these different people that we work with that people won't realise that we do. We're in Ashcombe and Priory doing their lunchtime clubs, after school clubs. We run football teams for them. We do, at St John's, Debbie there and Owen, the assistant head. We're working really hard with them on getting, even some of our learners lifeguard trained so they can add to the sporting sector within Dorking. So we're doing so much for all these local community projects and, all these young people in the area. But the key thing is for me down with the Meadowbank thing, I don't really want to get involved in the sort of council element of it and the sort of, the lawful element of it probably. But all I can speak from is we're all very keen on it. We're all very optimistic by it. And from my point of view, it'll be absolutely fantastic to have the license to engage these people with our football club in a greater way. So yeah, we're really really excited by the whole purchase, and I think it's probably month end that we'll know probably again a bit more. But how long's a piece of string? That's where it's at.
Absolutely, and obviously I look to keep everyone posted via the Academy socials and the website, as well as of course the first team as developments happen with the stadium in the coming weeks, and fingers crossed everything goes okay there, of course. But in terms of the Academy and some of the exciting developments you touched on initially, got a couple of fantastic partnerships that have just been announced and being confirmed at the moment. And one of them is with Sports Group International. And this is about satellite sites in Sussex and South London, and really expanding our reach in the south of the country.
Yeah, so, the more details will be out on that shortly. But Jamie and David at Sports Group, we've worked with them for our tour. So we do an illustrious sort of end of season, pre-season tour for the learners to go on who are full-time with us. And obviously as a project, we're getting so much interest now, as you'll know, Dan. 120 people applying for our A-level programmes when we can only take 45. BTEC, we're talking of having a cohort in year one next year of 40, which is 2 classes. We only achieved that last year, and this year our numbers are even greater. We could probably do that. We could probably have 60 if we really wanted to. But it's not about quantity for us, it's about quality. So with these extra locations and working with them in terms of the facilities that they have available. So Lancing is the location of the Sussex one, and I know it's Elton, the one in South London, is to basically give us an outreach to support people who want to be part of the club from those areas, because the scope of the club there is far greater than Surrey, and also is far greater than probably England. So Sports Group do a really good international programme as well. So it's not something we're going to try and run away with. It's just we're looking at how we can continue to support football development and also get the best players that we possibly can. And Sports Group will help us do that with the facilities they have and the sort of know-how in that international market as such. So yeah, very exciting. One definitely for the long term. Short term it will be a slow burner, but long term it's really going to kick us on.
Fantastic. Look forward to that getting underway in the coming weeks and months. And we've got another partnership just fresh off the presses, announced yesterday with Carrington School. So this is us going into Carrington, setting up an academy for Key Stage 4 level, so 14 to 16-year-olds. And setting up an academy based there in tandem with their education.
Yeah, so Mike Lockhart is actually a BOA relationship here. So Mike Lockhart, who is the assistant principal at Carrington, he was the assistant manager at Charlwood when BOA used to do Charlwood. So obviously he became really interested in the club, and he's a really good guy, Mike, and he's obviously come down a number of times, and we've worked with them on little projects like getting a class down to watch a game on a Tuesday night, all part of our initiatives to engage more people and improve the outreach of Dorking Wanderers. So they're a Red Hill-based school. And we just got on like a house on fire. And then obviously, speaking of Kerry, who's the principal there, the head teacher, absolutely like the biggest support I've seen in a school for a long time in terms of just never say die attitude, never no. She's very keen on improving the quality of that school. And you can see it in every meeting I've had with her. It's always about the kids, what they can do. And this project is about that. So, we don't just partner with anyone, but we worked really closely with Mike and Kerry, and it's just a match made in heaven, really. Like there's not one of these around, so there's not a football academy at that GCSE stage, probably for miles, if not we're the only one. So what it does is it improves our pathway. It allows people to be full-time, 14 to 16, while studying their GCSEs. And then it also gives us access to Carrington's, obviously, school and the 3G facility there. So, again, as a project, it's, massive for us to increase our partnerships and impact Surrey as a football club. And watch this space, there's going to be 24 next year. We're already inundated with applications. We've already been doing events for it, but it's absolutely like inundated already with people just internally. So we're capping it at 24. Going to have a squad, maybe 2 squads with that. We're going to play in all the national competitions, play in a recognised league at that age group, and again another really exciting project for the club. So. Yeah, roll on September with that one.
Brilliant news, and just announced yesterday, as we said, so keep an eye out on the website and on the socials for more details of what it looks like. But no, fantastic, look forward to that, starting from the next academic year, as you said. Switching our attention back to matters on the field and our teams, obviously in and around the academy. Our academy is headed up, of course, by the Wanderers B team, who play in Step 6 of Southern Combination Division 1. 2023 has so far been a fantastic year for them. Up until last week, narrow defeat last week in the derby with Epsom and Newell 1-0. But aside from that, won all the league games thus far and played in the quarterfinals of the Peter Bentley Trophy last week as well. So really good progress for the B team and a lot of academy lads featuring in that B team as well.
Well, that's the most impressive thing this year with that team is obviously in my tenure we had loads of players coming through, but we've really gone down that model of and it's obviously in tandem with the quality of learners coming in there. And that's no disrespect to anyone else, but naturally, as we've gone up the levels as a club, better players at every age group want to be a part of the club. So we've managed to get hold of some really good players and testimony to that. And we've had about 8 or 9 regular starters in that team. And on Tuesday night, I know they had Seb, Jack Saunders, Nyack, Matt Hay, Cade Castleman, Luke Williams. The list is endless. I definitely forgot people there. Joel, I'm definitely forgetting people there, but they're all full time with us, and they're playing regularly at Step 6 at the age of 16, 17, and what they're doing in that league is brilliant. I think they're still in second place, second or third place, and they're on for another fantastic season of finishing in the top 3. And Ruben's done an amazing job with his young players, and long may it continue. So their results have been brilliant. But more importantly for me, look at the exits from that team. So we've got Spike now, who's only 2 weeks ago gone out to Haywards Heath on loan, been playing in that team regularly, and we've helped his development. Now he's out on loan there, which is amazing. And then you've got Ben Albury's gone to East Grinstead. Again, two leagues above, and we're producing players that can go in and play for these clubs. So it's massive. And the team is doing what it's there for. We've had Hayden Gow, who unfortunately he's picked up a really bad injury, but he was on the bench for the first team away at Yeovil this year. 16. Spike started that game 60 minutes against Jordan Maguire-Drew, who's got more Football League appearances than probably what he's got Step 6 appearances. Yeah. This is the level of player that we're producing, and the environment that we're creating. So it's great to see, and we take credit for the whole thing as a club. But massive hats off to Ruben, Jack, and Jamie for continuing that work and really elevating it.
Very much so, and we do wish Spike and Ben all the best playing at Step 4 for much of the rest of the campaign. And the B team are back at Meadowbank on Saturday, and I mentioned it, 3 o'clock kickoff, and of course the first team are on BT Sports straight afterwards. So definitely not coming down for a double bill here at Meadowbank on Saturday. B team followed by the first team on the telly. So, making great progress in the lead of the B team, as are the Wanderers ladies, who very much competing at the top end of their league, of course. I know they're a few games behind with their cup involvements. A fantastic season for them so far in the league. And they've just been involved in the quarterfinals of the League Cup, and they're now into the semi-finals of the Capital Cup. So really good progress again with the ladies.
Yeah, just really continued on from last season, really. Just gone another level, just kicked on. The progress never stands still at this club, and they've recruited really well. They're being professional in every aspect. Lou, Kez, Jamie, Callum. Obviously, they're doing a tireless job. Of trying to drive up the interest in the ladies. And I've been down to a few games this year, and the last game was the Fulham game. So Fulham League above, and we were more than competitive. There's arguments to say that we could have won that game if things just went our way a little bit more. But the most pleasing thing from a club point of view was to see 250 fans, I think it was. 250 fans.
Record crowd.
Record crowd in attendance.
Yeah.
I walked in, and you couldn't just walk through the lounge. It weren't like a free for all for football. It was a proper event. And from when we amalgamated Mole Valley Ladies to become Dorking Wanderers Ladies, what was it now? 3 years ago, when myself and Kat at the time made that happen. To see what it is now is literally like dream stuff, and that's what this club's always about, like setting new standards. And I really, obviously, I hope they do it, but I've got nothing but confidence that they'll be at the summit of that league come the end of the season. Yeah,
absolutely, and well worth watching the documentary. Obviously, looking back on the ladies' season last year.
Yeah.
Obviously include the Capital Cup win as well. So it's not a BBC iPlayer, very much worth watching that if you've not seen it already. In terms of the academy sides, our under-19 sides, your team, the Academy A team, who play in the National League South, since the turn of the year, we talked about it at the back end of last year, but making really good progress, and that's continued into this year. It's been an eventful few weeks. We've had 2 of our best results. We beat Woking away from home, had a draw here with Maidenhead at Meadowbank as well. We're battling out to the top end of that league. And the lads also had the experience of Mark Beard taking the team away from home at Boreham Wood as well. So yeah, real good progress and continuity for the Academy A team. Yeah.
Well, I think it parallels with the first team, Dan, in terms
absolutely.
of, you have to. There's always a confidence that you've got players that are good enough, and management teams, obviously, especially at this club, we back ourselves to be able to compete with anyone. But as players, it's taken a bit of time for them to get that belief and not be, to use a term that Mark would use, sightseeing. We've had 16, 17-year-old lads who are stepping into this league. All of us are stepping into this academy licensed league now that we're so proudly to have achieved. Start of the season, and it was you're playing against first year pros, you're playing against 19-year-olds, you're playing against established sides that have been in this, since it started 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, we took a bit of time to probably grow in belief that we deserve to be here. There's no doubt in the ability. You've been at every game, Dan. The fine margins in football at that level is you could just decide to go with the wrong foot, and it's in the back of your net. Like it was that sort of situation, and everything was against us in terms of the luck element. But you create your own luck, and since the turn of the year, the boys have grown in belief, and we've shown that we're more than competitive at this level, beating drawing with Maidenhead, who were at the summit at the time, and should have won on that day, and then Woking away, 3-0. Against a side that are in the top 4, and we were comfortable and confident in that game. And then all the games, Hampton and Richmond, the turn of the year. We've had Welling, all the shots, some fantastic games. We're still learning and stuff like that. But the momentum we've picked up this year, with only probably 6 weeks left to go in the season, is going to really, I wouldn't want to play us next year. I think we're going to be, with the first years we've got coming in, that our academy's side will be, I think, a real force, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, fantastic progress this season. As you say, parallels to the first team, that acclimatisation to the national level we now find ourselves in. But no, fantastic work. And yeah, as you say, 6 weeks left, about half a dozen games left of the season. So look forward to seeing how we finish up. And the same for our other two sides at under 19 level, National League Alliance B team, our Tactics T1 team. And again, they've both made really good progress at the turn of the year. I know the Alliance team had a run of 4 games unbeaten. Tactics have picked up a couple of good results lately as well. So again, real good progress for our other two under 19 sides as well.
Yeah, well, we're so first year heavy.
Yeah.
Due to our education partners, our second year group, we only have the VL UK BTEC learners. With our first year intake, we've got 3 partners. So, we're first year heavy, which gives a little bit of immaturity to a certain extent in terms of their behaviours on the pitch and learning the level. And next year will be even better for that. So, it was nothing but what we expected, to go 6-7 months into the season and really see a turn in results, and also a belief grow in the lads that they can compete. That was the always, we knew that would come. And it was so, literally, all these things are just a product of the hard work that everyone's done. Most importantly, the players. And I'm looking forward to seeing how everyone finishes the last 4, 5, 6 games. The Tactics drawing the top of the league last week gave them so much belief, and having again another, I think it's around about 70 first years coming next year with all the partners. And the quality of them is, parallels with what we've got already. It's going to be, every team's going to have an injection of quality, and that's something to really be excited about. And I'd encourage, anyone around on a Wednesday afternoon, come down and watch us, because you won't be disappointed with the level, and you won't be disappointed with the Dorking Wanderers team.
Very much so, and as you say, it's only going to get more competitive and even better quality as we turn the corner from this year into next year, and with who we've got coming in, as you've said. So, no, real positive signs ahead there as well. And looking ahead to the future, we've got our last talent ID day, our last scheduled talent ID day of this year.
Yep.
recruiting for next year, taking place here at Meadowbank on Sunday, March the 26th. It's 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Obviously, really looking at subscriptions for this year. We are it's busy. It is subscribed well, but we've still got some. The door is still very much open for people to get involved.
Well, it's like anything. We've got to be honest with people. It's Ashcombe is got a waiting list. To be a part of what we're doing. Donata, interest growing all the time. Our BTEC pathway inundated, and we're looking at operationally how we're going to deal with that. There are a few remaining spaces, and I use that word "few" with it being 3, 4, 5. So anyone who's interested, March 26th probably will be our last one, until we obviously see what everyone gets in their results. But I would encourage anyone to come down March 26th. Year 10, even now Year 9s, if they're interested in the Carrington situation, if they want to, have a look at it and have a chat with me. March 26th down here at Meadowbank, 5 to 8. Get yourself down and, you won't be disappointed, and just listen to what we have to say, and we'll take a look, and we'll always be honest with people as to where they fit in the sort of process.
Absolutely. And for those interested, Sunday, March the 26th here at Meadowbank. Initial introduction in the Surrey FA building before coming across to Meadowbank onto the field of play for the training session. If you visit dwfa.co.uk, that gives you all the information, and of course feel free to email us academy@dorkingwanderers.com, give you some more information. Jordan, thank you for your time, much appreciated, and we'll catch up at Easter. I guess we're around Easter.
Around Easter time,
that'll come down quickly enough, won't it?
And a lot of things would have moved again, so it'll be another worthwhile update.
Absolutely. Cheers, Jordan.
Cheers, mate.